Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to talk about the beauty of mercy. I am invincible. Well, at least I like to be when I play video games. You see, I love it when you get the star in Super Mario Brothers. I love it because nothing can hurt you. I mean, you can run right into a bad guy, and you just run right through him. In other games, you can actually put in a code that will do the same thing. I've even seen people use something similar to beat a level in a Candy Crush game. Well, saving faith, it actually does something quite similar. But because of this, we have a great responsibility. This is what James says about it in James 2, beginning in verse 12. Speak and act as those who are to be judged by the law of freedom. For judgment is without mercy to the one who has not shown mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Let's remember that James has been speaking in chapter 2 about the sin of partiality. God shows no favoritism, and neither should we. So here James is wrapping up this thought by reminding us of the greatest gift we've received and the responsibility it brings. James says, speak and act as those who are to be judged by the law of freedom. Well, what exactly is that? Well, those who are far from God, trapped by their sin, are under the law of bondage. They are slaves to sin and condemned to hell. But those who are saved by the blood of Christ are under the law of freedom. We have been freed by Christ, but this freedom is not a license to sin. It is a license to follow Christ. You see, James is saying, live like a follower of Christ, because you have been saved by grace. And then James reminds us that God has also shown us mercy. Therefore, we are obligated and privileged to do the same. The unbeliever is a slave to sins of all kinds. This includes revenge, anger, favoritism, and so on. Now, it's important that we know that this verse is not teaching that God's going to revoke His mercy from His children, but rather, it is a loud reminder of who we are in Christ and who the world is, and the world, as we know, is apart from Him. So, here's my challenge for you today. Show God's mercy and grace to someone who is far from God. The world says to get even with those who hurt you, to get even with those people who don't like you. God says, love those who are your enemies and do good to those who persecute you. So that is our challenge today. When we shower the world with the grace and mercy of God, we will win the day.